Hey, good morning. It's September 30th, and welcome to Everyday Talk 24/7. Wasn't able to do a video yesterday, that's why I always say Lord willing, but happy to get back into doing them today. The everyday thought for today, as we end the month of September, is about intentions. And intentions, I think they kind of plague all of us because we tend to trust intentions. And the message I want to give this morning is don't trust intentions. Whether ones that you and I have or whether the ones that others make, others state. We are easily self-deceived. Other folks are self-deceived or sometimes willfully wanting to be deceptive. So what we may intend to do is not a guarantee of what we will do. Intentions are just that. They're thoughts, but there's no actions accompanying them. So how often do we say something along the lines, well, I didn't mean that, or that's not what I intended. It's because we're not giving the right kind of thought and planning to what we do, because everything we do is supposed to be about bringing honor to God. It's about being faithful to other people. It's about representing ourselves well to our children. Not just saying something to calm down for the moment and, I'll get back to it later. But really, really follow through. So intentions are very much like what James talks about, where it says faith without works are dead. I can mean all the things that I want to mean. I can sincerely believe that I want to do something to help someone, or to do a good deed, or to do something that's going to be, something I need to do. But until it actually begins to happen, it remains an intention. So that's why I'm saying, don't trust intentions. If it's our intention, something I say, and I believe it's a good thing to do, a wise thing is going to help, both on a big scale or a small scale, then there's certain things that I can do. I, want to ask God for help. Say, Lord, I believe this is something you've called me to. I believe this is something I should do. Please help me to do it. It doesn't matter, again, it's a very small thing or it's a very large thing. If you intend to give somebody a cup of water, give them a cup of water, follow through. Just don't stay there. If you intend to change something about what you're doing that's not good, don't just think about doing it. Do these things. And so the first thing you do is you ask God for help and you ask Him for wisdom and strength. The second thing that you do is write down an action plan. Whether you write it mentally, whether you write it down on a piece of paper and follow through in that way, whatever it is, write it down. Make some sort of an accountable list to it so that you can see this is what I need to do to follow through on this intention. Then the third thing is to make yourself accountable. Talk to someone that you trust, that you know is going to be encouraging and faithful to you, and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Help me make sure that I do it. Follow up with me. Check on me. If your intention is, the plan is to get something done the next day or so, get somebody to check with you along the way. That's humility. Those three things, talking to God about it, committing it to Him, being sure it's the right thing to do, then making a plan that you can write out, like I say, either mentally or probably, if it's a bigger thing, write the thing down, and then make yourself accountable. Those three things will help you follow through with intentions. Now, what about the intentions of other people? Well, they're not necessarily any more trustworthy than you are, or they may have good intentions as well, but don't follow through. So how can you trust or evaluate their intentions? Well, again, in the Gospels, several places. One of them I'm thinking of is in Sermon on the Mount. Jesus makes a very clear statement. A bad tree is not going to produce good fruit. A good tree will produce good fruit. A bad tree will not produce good fruit. So what that means is that someone says something, evaluate their actions, evaluate what they're about. Is there a reason for them to follow through with their intentions? And are they willing to, say, okay, help me with this, make me accountable? And then they follow through on it. Just don't trust the fact that they say they intend to do it. They may be more sincere than you could possibly imagine. That's not getting the job done. So much bitterness, upset, frustration with other people is because we either trust our intentions or trust the intentions of others. And what we've got to do is we've got to put some feet to the fire here. We've got to be accountable, most importantly before God, but then also loving our neighbor, other people as well, making ourselves accountable to them, and having the humility to encourage feedback about what we're at. If all we do is trust our intentions, then we leave ourselves in that realm where we're going to feel criticized, where we're going to feel hurt, where don't you trust me, and all that kind of stuff. We've got to follow through. I struggle with that, I'm sure, as much or more than some of you. We have got to put things in place so we actually follow through with what we say. It's not enough to want to do it. Love is action. Love is not emoting. Love is actually doing something that is consistent with what it means to trust God. So a real important part of our relationship with other people, don't trust intentions. Follow these steps to work through it, where you commit it to God, where you write down in such a way that you have a plan to do it, and then you make yourself accountable. And that's the thought for this Friday, the end of September. And please continue to pray for the folks in Florida. Folks in the path of that storm is devastating, so be in prayer for them. Again, thanks so much for being here. Check us out at everydaytalk247.com. If you haven't turned on post notifications, these videos will come right to you. Thank you so much for your support. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. You have a great day. Follow through on those intentions. Goodbye.